Hi everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you and welcome to this session. And let me know if I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Everything okay? You can let me know in the chat. For those who are watching me for the first time, I am Niharika John Mehra and I have been teaching English for more than 10 years now. You can see I have regular classes now on YouTube. So you will get my classes first of all at 1:30 p.m. And on this channel, my classes are on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's for CSAT over here, these practice sessions. And then we have our other channel, which is CGB IBPS Hub. Here, my classes are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Okay, so I have classes these 3 days on my other channel. Apart from this, there is a great series I have started for all of you, 8 p.m. on this channel, and this is Editorial Express. We are going to go through an editorial from the Hindu most of the days, and we are doing vocabulary, grammar part, we are doing the comprehension practice, understanding how to skim what all are the things we can take away from the given article, how it is useful from exam point. So we are gonna cover all those things. Okay, apart from that, you know my schedule right in front of you. So jaldi say like or share kar do, like and share the session, and we will begin shortly. With timer, you have to solve these compare this reading comprehension passages. That's your first one. Please go through it. Your time starts now. Answer आपको यहाँ देना है. You have to answer in the chat here. Answer to this one is D. The question is, which of the following is an apt summary of the passage? It should take everything. It should have the essence of whatever is given from the beginning till ending, not something that was just mentioned in between. Okay. So modern bourgeois society, that means middle class society, was decadent and enfeebled, said Nietzsche, a victim of the excessive development of the rational faculties at the expense of will and instinct. So he is describing the society as decadent and enfeebled, not that great. Against the Liberation is stress on the intellect. Nietzsche urged recognition kiska of dark mysterious world of instinctual desires, instinct based, the true forces of life. He was a great philosopher. इसके ऊपर काफी सारे passages और something from what he has written and said उससे बहुत पूछा जाता है. Smother the will with excessive intellectualization and you destroy the spontaneity that sparks cultural creativity. Okay, so jo ichha hai, smother the will with excessive intellectualization. This is what he is saying, and there is a chance you will destroy the the cultural creativity that comes from being spontaneous and ignites a zest for living. The critical and theoretical outlook destroyed the creative instinct. So he's saying because they are not going with their will, they are going with something else. It is hindering, it is harming, destroying the creative instincts. The man's manifold potential to be realized, he must forego relying on intellect. He's saying intellect अकेले पे मत rely करो and nurture again the instinctual roots of human existence. Instincts are based on how we instantly feel about something. So he is in the favor of that. So what he is saying, the summary is that Nietzsche blames excessive intellectualization for the decline of modern society and suggests nurturing creative instincts instead. So that's what he's saying. Be spontaneous. Because people are getting excessive intellectualized, they are missing out on creativity. So he is blaming something, that is intellectualization, excessive one, and he is saying that what could be done. So he suggests that creative instincts को बढ़ावा देना चाहिए. How come A, B, C are wrong? Nietzsche urges the decadent and modern society and feeble modern society to forego intellect and give importance to creative instincts. This is not what he is saying just to the modern society. Okay, so the way this sentence conveys the meaning, it is already saying that the modern society, only the ones that are the people that are decadent and feeble, those people should let go intellect. He's not saying that. He's saying that you may keep intellect with you if you want to, but focus on the creative instinct. So this is slightly different than what the passage says. He urges the modern society to smother the will with excessive intellectualization and ignite a zest for living. He has simply mentioned because of excessive intellectualization what is happening. He is not urging it. He criticizes the intellectuals for enfeebling the modern bourgeois society. No, again, he's not doing that. He's saying what has happened, why it has happened, and what could be done. Next one. Hello. Answer to this one is this is an assumption question. So answer is C. Assumptions will not be something that is in the passage. Assumptions are the first thought, the first idea popped in the mind of author, and from there he thought of something and wrote a passage according to that thought. Now, euthanasia continues to be an option for many pet owners who do not want their terminally ill pet to suffer. So, this is an option that is like not lawful killing in simpler terms, who may find the vet costs for continued treatment of the pet to be prohibitive. As an owner, the emotions one feel at this time may make it hard to think, communicate, and make decisions. So it is hard for the owner. Therefore, it is often helpful to discuss the process of euthanasia with one's vet. So, whatever the process is, it's always good and helpful to discuss and not just pick it up as an option. A vet can suggest the treatment options. He can give his own suggestion, cost, outcomes, chances of recovery, hence can help make an objective decision about euthanasia. And that's why author is supporting that euthanasia is something which is hard, and that's why one owner should discuss, sorry, one owner should discuss this thing with his or her vet. So this is what he is saying in this, and this is an assumption based on which this falls in line. The passage falls in line. For owners, euthanizing a pet is emotionally a very difficult thing to do. That is true, but this is not an assumption. Because why then he is writing about discussing, why he's mentioning that it is helpful to discuss and other things. So this is not an assumption. As hard as it is, the owner needs to consider the financial cost as well as the emotional cost of continuing to care for their ill pet. So he needs to consider, but then there is another option of euthanasia about which author has mentioned. So this is not an assumption. None of the above, of course not, because C is a valid assumption. I mean, you cannot negate that. Next one. Kindly continue to answer here. So this is an inference question, means from the passage, but hidden between the lines. British museums are different, and that is their strength. The collection of Hanson's Sloane, which forms the basis of the museum, was left in trust to the nation. So this collection was left to the trust. The British Museum was created for the people and enriched by the collection of its citizens. Citizens का collection होता है वहाँ. It is part of civic society. This sets it apart too. इसको अलग भी बनाता है ये from major American institutions created by the generosity of private philanthropists, but run as private institutions. So how these museums, British ones, are different from the American ones, basically. So we can see it is a part of civic society, not run as private institutions. So British museums are not run as private institutions. As simple as that. That is the difference. This is how American institutions, American museums run. तो बहुत सिंपल था यहाँ पे. ABC एलिमिनेट करते हैं. British museums are entirely made by collections from the people. So the words which are extreme are hardly our answers in inference or assumption questions. So entirely made, we don't have enough proof for that. American museums would be more efficient than British museums. From the given information, I cannot comment on how efficient any of these is. So no, it is easier to run museums because British museum because the support of the people. Why the private philanthropists are not helpful? Is it something wrong? We don't know. Again, not enough information to understand what she is saying here. It is a comparison because so again, not our inference. In the chat. If you're not comfortable, that's totally okay. You can answer wherever you're sitting. You can note down your answer. That's also fine. Only one. Three sentences are given, so you'll have to like be a little more careful because like in the previous one, we had options where we know one is if one is correct, rest of them are wrong, and we can easily eliminate. But in this case, some confusions might come because you can think, okay, these two can also be the right answer, first and third. So you'll have to be extra careful. So the human civilization stands on an edge of destiny. It lies today at the mercy of nuclear weapons. So, nuclear weapons, like it is an important element for our existence, which have power to destroy us completely, least controlled wisely. In such a situation, it is important to develop sensitivity. What is saying we should be sensible towards the basic value of life. It includes an explicit realization that humans swim in an ocean where they must swim together and sing together. So we can think of it as of humanity coming together and thriving together. At this juncture, a sink rotten fish would damage the ocean as whole. And if some like just one part goes wrong, everything falls apart. Man cannot afford to tamper with his loyalty to peace and international understanding. He must work to maintain peace, which is the only way to deal with the situation. Anyone who does so dooms the entire past, present, future of the human civilization. Okay, so we need to be at such a point where we understand the value of human life. The nuclear war, one day or the other, is poised to end human civilization, which is very, very, very clear. It has the power to destroy. So, today or tomorrow, if it is used, it is going to do that. One is the first statement is clearly inferred. It is not possible for the countries to exist in unison regardless of what happens in other countries. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. Author is urging that we must make sure that we at an international level should have international understanding, should have loyalty to peace and all. So there is a possibility. That's why he is thinking it. Hence, second is eliminated. Unless all the weapons are destroyed, peace cannot be restored. Author is not suggesting that let's have no nuclear weapons at all. He's saying something different. He's saying that we must now start thinking of human life more than other things, and how to bring them together, how to keep peace and harmony. So saying this thing that unless there is a condition, unless the weapons are destroyed, ho hi nahi sakta peace. Peace cannot be restored. This is not we. He may want to say this, but this is not what he is saying in the passage. Hence, only the first one. अभी ये थोड़ा बड़ा है, but keep your phones and laptop computer on full screen. Will be easier for you to read, but हमें थोड़े lengthy questions भी करने ज़रूरी हैं. It's important for us to solve a couple of lengthier questions as well. Okay, so please start doing that. Give you a little extra time for this one since there is a lot you have to read. Answer is D. According to author, the problem of production has not been solved because. So we just need to answer the reason. It is an indirect, direct question. Okay, so one of the most fateful errors of our age is the belief that the problem has been solved. Things are not going well as they ought to. We must therefore construct a political system so perfect that human wickedness disappears and everybody behave well. So we must do something like so. In fact, it is widely held that everybody is born good. If one turns into a criminal, this is the fault of the system. ये क्या मानते क्या नहीं मानते. My question is why the problem is still existing. So modern talks of a battle with nature. If won the battle, he would find himself on losing side. Illusion of unlimited powers nourished by technological achievements has produced the current illusion of having solved the problem of production. So this is an important piece of information. Platonism illusion is based on the failure of to distinguish between income and capital. Every economist and businessman is familiar with the distinction and applies it. Okay, for larger is the capital provided by nature and not by man. We do not even recognize it as such. So क्यों हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है? This larger part is now being used up at an alarming rate. That is why it is absurd and suicidal error to believe and act on the belief that the problem is solved. So last part or first part थोड़ा आपको hint दे रहा है why the problem is not solved. It is because the detrimental effect of new technologies have when used uh, for achieving economic goals. So economic goals के लिए alarming rate पे जो use up हो जा रहा है large part of the capital, we still can see the wrong effect that new technologies have, the effect that these have when they are used in order to achieve economic goals thoughtlessly के लोग use करते जा रहे हैं. Okay, that's the reason why we are still unable to solve the problem. In spite of huge and cry the world over, man is still exploiting his resource base to reduce level of exploitation. Incomplete information of man's failure to realize that his economic activities are affecting nature. That is true, but not the reason why the problem of production is not solved. Production के लिए problem अभी भी इसलिए है because without thinking of the effect of new technologies, we are working towards achieving economic goals, जो कि आपको यहाँ later part पे बहुत clearly मिल रहा है. Okay, so we have the same passage and next question. That's why I'm not going to give you that much of time for this one. Identify the statement that cannot be attributed to the author. That means that is out of this with regard to control of the systems of society. So what he has not mentioned that doesn't go with the thought जो author ने यहाँ पे लिखा है. A perfect political system would have all good citizens. इसने यहाँ पे mention करा है. Okay, good citizens की बात करी है. Because he already is saying that everybody is born good. It's a system that fails, and later on वो political वाले पे बात भी उसने करी है. All present day systems have a certain inbuilt error. So he has agreed upon this thing as we read previous question में जब हमने पढ़ा कि it's not completely error proof thing जो हमें यहाँ पे मिला. The problem of production is the real reason behind the evils or problems of society. The problem of production, yes, it is the real reason because that's why he is explaining so much. Na? You solve new, that's why we are still fighting. Faulty systems tend to breed wickedness. Wickedness is a word which talks about some extremity. तो human wickedness के लिए क्या बोला है इसने? We must therefore construct a political system so perfect, इतना अच्छा बताओ, that human wickedness disappears and everybody behaves well. So we cannot attribute that faulty systems if system is not perfect. Because of that, the wickedness comes in the life of human. Yes, if we have a perfect system, wickedness will disappear, but it is not like it is the only cause of the wickedness in the mind and heart of people. So, this is why this is the statement that cannot be attributed to the control of the systems of society. थोड़ा वापस बड़ा है, पढ़ो, क्वेश्चन करो. It's important for you to practice. Again, apt summary, easier category of the question. Almost all climate scientists, although all of them agree that the Earth is gradually warming, they have long been of two minds. उनके पास में again it's something they haven't reached on conclusion. Some have speculated that the process works like a giant oven or freezer, warming or cooling the whole planet at the same time. Others का सोचना है that this is because of the shift opposing schedules of northern and southern hemisphere. Recent research in Germany examining climate patterns. Here we got to see that this was at the end of the last ice age, and it strengthens the idea of warming cooling wala. A more definitive answer to to his debate, this होना चाहिए, will allow scientists to better predict when and how quickly next climate shift will happen. तो यहाँ पे बोला जा रहा है कि अगर हम हमारे साइंटिस्ट थोड़े से और क्लैरिटी को लेकर आ सकें, तो दिस इज गोइंग टू हेल्प अस इन प्रिडिक्टिंग एग्जैक्टली व्हाट कैन help us. Okay, so answer to this is B. Scientists have been unsure whether rapid shifts in Earth climate happen at all at once or opposing schedules. So, because there are two thoughts here, two things they believe in, so that's why they are not sure, they are unsure. Finding a definitive answer will definitely help. So, no doubt, ये हमारा answer था. Next one. So the question is of summary. We have to read everything carefully. Local communities have often come in conflict with agents trying to exploit resources for expanding commercial industrial economy. So they have come in conflict with these people. More often than not, such agents of resource intensification are given preferential treatment by the state. Such agents get preferential treatment through the grant of generous long leases over mineral or fish stocks, for example, or provision of raw material at an enormously subsidized price. तो उनको बहुत benefits मिल रहे हैं, which common man local communities think कि सही नहीं है. With the injustice so compounded, local communities at the receiving end of this process have no recourse except direct action. So because they see कि उनको benefit हो रहा है, but the benefit actually should go to local communities and they are not receiving it, they now take direct action, resisting the state and the exploiters both. These struggles might perhaps be seen as a manifestation of a new kind of class conflict. So इसे हम as a class conflict भी देख सकते हैं. Now preferential treatment given by state to agents of resource intensification for an expanding industrial economy. Now this preferential treatment जो दिया जा रहा है इन लोगों को, it exacerbate, it makes worse the injustice to local communities, and that's why it leads to direct protest from them. That's why it results in a new type of class conflict. Everything preferential treatment जो starting में था till the end that it is giving birth to a class conflict, everything is covered in C, and this is the reason, it is the answer. A new kind of class conflict arises from treatment given to agents of resource intensification by the state, which the local community sees as unfair. This is true, but it misses out on certain things like commercial industrial economy. Okay, we want to talk about it. This is the reason, or why resource intensification के बारे में बताया गया है. So since key information vocab was missing, A cannot be my answer. The grant for long leases, industrial economy leads to direct process. Not this alone is not the reason. So that's why this is again half baked answer option. Local communities have no option but to protest. ऐसा तो नहीं बोला author ने. Author is saying that local communities are protesting and why they are doing it. He's not saying that they are left with no option and that's why majburi mein aakar they are doing this. So this gives the wrong tone. My tone of the passage and of the summary should be same. If it is neutral, it should be neutral in the answer also, summary also. तो उस वजह से आंसर आपका वहां पे. Let's move to the next one. Second one. So consider the following statements with regard to passage, and the passage supports which of the following conclusions. So basically conclusion देखना था. Read the question completely to understand पूछा क्या है. So there are 4 statements and we may have more than one statement as conclusion. पढ़ते हैं पहले. A study based on a year-long analysis of data from an extensive mobile phone network. So this study has produced interesting information that might be of use of epidemiologists and social scientists. Data might shed light on how diseases and information are transmitted through social networks. Social networks से कैसे transmit होती है? Researchers rammed the like between a pair of phone where on the basis of total time spent talking to each other. Strong links exist between members of a close social group. तो कैसे इनकी strong और weak links है? Weak links tend to be more long range and join individuals from different social groups. कैसे कैसे connection build हो रहे हैं? The researchers observed a dramatically different effect when they removed links in the network in rank order, depending on whether they removed links starting with the strongest or with the weakest. So they did an experiment, उससे उनको और कुछ पता चला. To their surprise, removing strong links first had little effect on the overall structure of the network, but removing weak links first split the network into a series of unconnected islands and individual users linked to a small group. So major effect was seen when they removed the weak links. Thus, researchers have hypothesized, they have a theory that weak links, these links might be very important in maintaining wider cohesion, people coming together, the community coming together. These weaker links, they have an important role. If you lose contact with casual acquaintances, you may fragment your social circle. So we think that the best friend is someone, or the best person in our life is someone to hold on to. Here, as per the passage, we get to see even the casual acquaintances are the ones we should maintain contact with. But if you stop talking to your brother, there might be less visible impact. So again, it's a comparison done on weaker and the stronger contact connection. Weak links are more important than strong links. It's not about the importance he is talking about or the researchers are talking about, but the role of it. Okay, so we cannot say strong links are unimportant. Okay, we should totally focus here. But here, author has explained as something very beautifully. Some people believe that phone network patterns could be useful to social scientists. That's what they have done. That's what the experiment was. So this is how this was everything based on a year-long analysis. That was the data from extensive phone network. And that's why some people believe that phone network patterns are useful, could be useful to social scientists. And social scientists are talking about society कैसे बनती है. This is one of the conclusions. Okay, this supports the conclusion. Okay, supports the spelling में typo error है. Pardon me. Links between family members would be disrupted by terminating weak links. ये conclusion draw नहीं कर सकते हम. This is just an example. But saying that कि अगर weak links हटा दिए तो family members अलग हो जाएंगे, no, not enough proof. The strong links are between geographically close individuals, not commented in the passage, hence cannot go with the conclusion. Okay, so that's it for this session, guys. I'll see you later in another session tonight, 8 p.m. We are going to do editorial and comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, plus summarizing and having a discussion, exam related discussion on it. That's all we are going to do. Okay, I want you guys to be ready for it, 8 p.m. sharp here on this channel. By that time, you can like and share this video and subscribe.